Let's go!
I was checking out the scouting report, and I don't see nothing but bums. You and your whole entire world know that I am the one. You and your squad ain't got nothing for me.
Hey.
Your organization is looking stressed.
What?
And now that you haters is running from me, I know that you see that I'm highly blessed.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, we live with your boy Coach G. Yeah, we live with your boy Monty.
You and your squad ain't got nothing for me. Your organization is looking stressed. And now that you haters is running
Episode 32, we're here. We're back. Another edition of The Rewind, brought to you by Global Sports Entertainment 3. The captain, you're looking at him, you hear him, Monty Boss, alongside my co-host, the man, the partner in crime, my Scotty Pimpin, my Dennis Rodman, Bryant Garvin, OG Bryant Garvin. Bryant, we got another great episode coming to you tonight for everybody out there that's watching. Thank you for the love and support. If you haven't, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at @3one_GSC3, as well as follow us on all our social media platforms at @3one_GSC3. Over 200 subscribers on YouTube. Yes, I know, took us long enough, but building blocks as we get into the second half of the Rewind journey. Some things will be changing as we go into October. Just be patient. I got it coming. Don't worry. But, of course, you guys know this guy with me is. He's a four-time state champion, over 400 career wins in his co-head coaching career. He's coached both football and basketball, and he is inducted into the Newark Hall of Fame. Chi-Town's finest. B. Garvin's in the house. What's good, Brian? Good to see you. How are you?
I'm good, man. A little exhausted, a little working overtime today, but I'm here, and I'm glad to be here to be with you and our coming up guests. I learned some new stuff today, and I'm excited.
I did too. We were in our pre-production meeting with our guests, and I was surprised, blown away. I'm like, is that okay? That makes sense. No problem. So might have to make some changes on my resume and put one of them on there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
You're retired now, but I'm still trying to grind my way through the thing we call life.
Hey, look, I still got a resume. You know what I mean? I'm available. I feel like a single woman that's available for a job of coaching. You know, if anybody want me, I'm available. Well, I gotta prostitute myself as availability.
Well, I know one thing's for certain and two things for sure. I will not be doing that for a broadcast again. Absolutely not. We're not doing that. But let's get right into it. Let's get our guests. Let's break it down to our lovely person who took the time out of their schedule to come join us on this beautiful, beautiful episode 32. Mrs. Rasheeda S. Liberty, a true Renaissance woman, seamlessly blending her diverse professional and philanthropic. I said that right? Philanthropic, yes. Experiences. Philanthropic. Sorry. Thank you.
There you go.
Experiences to excel as a sports agent. Born in Baltimore and raised in Milwaukee, she was instilled with the belief that no limits existed for her aspirations. This mindset has propelled her through an impressive academic and corporate journey, ultimately culminating in her passion for sports representation. Rasheeda's background is a testament to her versatility and strategic prowess in Fortune 100 businesses over the last decade. With a Bachelor of Science in Accounting from Marquette University, go Shaka Smart, and an MBA alongside her law school experience, she was honed her skills in banking, finance services, corporate law, insurance, media, and e-commerce. Her corporate journey includes significant roles at industry giants such as Gannett Media and Mars Incorporated, where she managed a $4 billion portfolio for iconic brands like M&M's, Snickers, and Pedigree. Her most notable corporate experience includes serving as a senior finance leader for the North America customer fulfillment at Amazon, where she made history as the first Black female to hold that prestigious position. Currently, she manages community and partnership engagement at Amazon, leveraging her extensive experience across various industries. Her leadership extends beyond the corporate realm into significant philanthropic work as a 25th international president of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, where she has demonstrated her ability to lead large-scale organizations and build meaningful relationships. Making history once again, she serves as the first Black female on the professional advisory board of St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Rasheeda's corporate and philanthropic. Got it. Topic. Yep. Acumen has proven invaluable in her role as a sports agent. Her financial expertise, coupled with her proven ability to navigate complex organizations and build strategic partnerships, allows her to excel in the professional sports landscape. As a founder of Lady Live Sports and Entertainment, she offers a comprehensive suite of services from contract negotiation and legal consulting to marketing endorsements and charitable organization establishment. Rasheeda's unique perspective as a female in a male-dominant industry has been a significant advantage for her clients. Her unwavering professionalism, strong negotiation skills, and expansive network have earned her the respect and support of industry leaders who recognize the value she brings to the table. With her dynamic vision, corporate experience, and demonstrated commitment to philanthropy, I think I got that. Philanthropic. We're going to try this again tomorrow. Rasheeda Liberty is poised to become a formidable force in the world of sports representation. Her ability to holistically address the needs of her clients, both on and off the field, while leveraging her extensive network and leadership experience, sets her apart and positions Lady Live Sports and Entertainment as a rising star in the industry. If you did not know, fun fact, she has been certified by the NFLPA since 2021. We are blessed to introduce to episode 32, Miss Rasheeda S. Liberty, a.k.a. Lady Lib, Dr. Lib, all the great things that she is called in today's world of sports. Rasheeda, it's an honor and privilege to have you join us at episode 32. Appreciate you taking the time to join us. How are you? How are things in your end and in your world?
Things are good. It's a busy time on the college front and calming down a little bit on the pro front. So
we're gonna. I need you to set me up with a skills coach. I want to make sure I get my delivery right, along with my English language. I had a mentor, Dr. Grant, God rest his soul, but he's no longer here to help me with these type of things. So Bryant does his best. I give him that, but there's only so much he can do as a co-host.
Well, I could do more than that. Rasheeda, I'm coming back to play, so I work out all the time. I know I'm 55, but I can go down to about 20, and I think I got a little bit of juice left in me to.
I get that a lot.
Yeah, give me a tryout with the Eagles.
I get that a lot.
I know you do.
Oh my God, I'm 30 years old. I still have it. I never played football before, but I think I can go in and do it. I'm like, woo, my God, you don't realize how hard this is. I do get 30-years that just won't let it go. I'm always like, have you ever thought about coaching? What is your degree? Because right now, 30 years old, you're not getting on that field if you've never been there before, right?
Not signed to this practice squad?
No, they don't need a 30-year-old practice squad player. They got young, fresh, healthy guys that just came out to draft. They do not need a 30-year-old on the practice roster.
Look, let's get into it.
Too.
Bryant, you might be able to sign a minimum vet, man. Keep holding on.
Let me tell you something. I finished playing at 20 years old because I was one of the younger guys when I was playing with Greg. Greg was like 19 and he was like a 19-year-old freshman. I would sit there, 19-year-old junior, and I finished at 20. And these guys are still playing when I freaking graduated. It was crazy. And I wound up coaching Greg. You know what I mean? When I was 21 years old, I was coaching him and we was all over the freaking place. And Greg was a hell of a football player. But at 20, I felt like I needed a goddamn wheelchair. my body's hurting like hell right now. I couldn't make it through all those camps. I got bone spurs, bad knees, back surgery. I'm okay. I'm good. I'm good. That money's not worth it to me. Not at this stage. No, I'm good.
Let's get into an NFL Week 2 recap as we prepare for NFL Week 3. Brian, quick question. What is the Chicago Bears record right now? Are you happy as a Bear fan? Don't worry, we're going to move past that. Green Bay Packers.
No. See, you brought that shit up, right? See, you brought it up. Look at the hat I got on. I'm still in baseball season. I can't watch that garbage.
Understood. Bears are 0-2 if you didn't know. Packers 27-18 over the Washington Commanders this past Sunday. A great display of performance offensively from the Packers. Jordan Love 19-31, 292 yards, 2 passing touchdowns. Josh Jacobs did what he was supposed to do on the ground, rushed for 84 yards and 23 carries. I did tell everyone last week, anytime touchdown scorer Josh Jacobs, he did get in the end zone and found his way. I mean, if you're looking from Tucker Kraft, the tight end from Green Bay, who I picked in fantasy, thank you, Tucker, for the fantasy points this week. Appreciate you. Needed that. Trying to get over the hump, trying to win this thing, win the pot of money. But, Brian, impressive performance. I'm sure as a Packer fan, all Packers fans out there that's watching this, that saw this victory on Sunday, what was your takeaway from the Packers win over Washington? And is this concerning this early from what you saw from Jaden Daniels and him being a little banged up after the game?
I'm not concerned. I know I have Jaden Daniels on my fantasy both leagues. And but he's young. He can bounce back pretty fast. He's not as old as me, so these young guys, they have different type of ailments, but yet they bounce back really quick after a few days of rest. I think he'll be fine. Maybe if he had to sit out 1 week, this would be it. Green Bay and that defense now, they just now starting to turn up, especially they got Michael over there, and you just can't block that young man. In 2 seconds, he's in the backfield real quick. It's a shame what Dallas did and letting him go. I don't care if he's not good against the run. This is a passing league, and that's the dumbest thing I ever seen. In a passing league, you get rid of your best pass rusher.
Yeah,
that makes absolutely no sense to me. It just I don't understand it. But what you just made Green Bay have a possible chance to go into the title. Yeah, it's a championship. You just gave them that opportunity with that one trade. That is amazing. I just never seen any dumb stuff like that in my life. But they did it, and let's live with it now.
Yep, we'll get Rasheeda's input from this whole trade between him and Jerry a little bit later on in this episode. But speaking of quarterbacks, Bryant, a big blow for Cincinnati Bengals fans and me being a Joe Burrow quarterback owner in fantasy. He's now done for 3 months. A 31-27 over the Jaguars. But if you didn't know, Joe Burrow will be out for 3 months having to get toe surgery. Right now, Bryant, let me just put out some facts for you in regards to the Bengals offense with the departure of Joe Burrow being out for 3 months. They're 21st in league right now in passing offense, 9th in total offense, 32 in rushing offense total. That's horrible. Last in the league. 16th in scoring. Defensively, they haven't made any additions from this past offseason to this season to improve the defense. They're ranked 16th right now in total team defense, 2-0. Yes, 17-16 in week 1, 31-27 against Jacksonville last week. But what does this do for the Bengals with Joe Burrow being out for 3 months? Do you see this team still having a chance to win a division, having to know that Jamar Chase has to up his game? Of course, we have to see the run game improve, but yet, most importantly, T. Higgins, he's got the contract. He's got to go out there and ball.
They should play the Bears for the next 15 weeks and and they can win some games because they're done. That's it. I don't have any faith in their backup quarterback. And him being out for 3 months, and now you got to get back and throw in shape and that whole nine. It's a thing that when you can hurt your finger, but if you hurt your legs as a quarterback, you got problems. So at the end of the day, with him being out 3 months, he's got to get in shape. And you're talking about 4, 8, 12 weeks. That's pretty much the rest of the season. So. They're finished. They just might well just chalk this one up and just try to do the best they can without Joe Burrows.
You don't have any confidence in Jake Browning? I mean, he threw for over 240 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. I mean, he did throw 3 interceptions, but Jamar Chase picked up the slack. I mean, he had over 160 receiving yards. He damn sure did what he was supposed to do. So no confidence in Jake Browning moving forward as a starter for Cincinnati?
No. None. There's nothing else. I don't care what – no. It's just Joe, he just can't stay healthy, you know what I mean? And then now you have another backup to come in here. He's going to get great experience. He's going to be a great backup quarterback for somebody else, or maybe even for Cincinnati. But at the end of the day, he's not going to be able to get it done. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Quick pick. So Cincinnati's at Minnesota this Sunday, 1:00 Eastern time. Who wins?
I think Minnesota will win by 1 because I have no faith in Minnesota either. I think McCarthy. Is he's unstable too. It's something within him. He's got to basically you got to get him going. Something bad had to happen for him to perform later on throughout the course of a game. He's not a guy that jumps off the edge right away and have you down by 2 or 3 touchdowns. He's a later on in the game type player. So, and we saw that when he was at Michigan, he was that type. So I don't know. This is a 50-50 game. Maybe they can win this one, but I got Minnesota winning that one by 1 as the spread. I don't think it's something big that's going to jump off the charts.
Rasheeda, just a quick question for you. You do know J.J. McCarthy, starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. This is the same quarterback that put 21 points up in the fourth quarter against Bryant Chicago Bears. So Cincinnati Bengals defense isn't the greatest, but I just want to remind you, he can turn it up and turn it up quick. Rasheeda, from your perspective, from the world that you're in, of course, as an agent, when a player of the star caliber of a Joe Burrow has an injury like this, which will have him sidelined for 3 months, what does this do from the behind-the-scenes standpoint, from an organization standpoint? Is that something that an agent is kind of more involved in with those conversations from team doctors, or is that just something that the organization handles from within?
Oh no! If you have a player who's injured, it's definitely a direct conversation with the GM, with the team doctors. As an agent, one of the things that you have to do is go forward and really there's two things that I always advise agents to do. Number one, you got to get a second opinion. You never allow your player to go under a knife based on the one team doctor's assessment. You have to get an independent assessment. The second piece of that is you always want to involve workman's comp, just in case there's a situation where that player never recovers. You want to be able to negotiate on the back end for the best opportunity financially for him if he's never can take the field again. The second piece or the third piece I would say is when they go on IR, understanding what that contract value looks like, because they will not get the full contract value. So now you've impacted them financially in some cases.
So I
got a payday.
Yeah, I got a question. So if they have a contract, let's say you get $100 million over the past 4 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's say $20 million a year. So if they go on injury reserve, their contract is adjusted according to them while they're being hurt. Wow, that wasn't like that before.
And now it depends on your negotiation skills. Some people don't have that in their contract. So Joe Burrow may not have that in his contract, but the majority will have a situation where they have kind of what we call a down contract.
Yeah.
There's all different terminologies that people use for it, but it essentially means that you'll get maybe somewhere, I believe it's like 50, 55, 60% of what you normally would be paid. And then you would lose all of your incentives as well, because now you can't achieve those so many yards, so many touchdowns, you can't achieve that. And sometimes they have appearance bonuses. So if you're available for 50% of the games or more, or you played an X amount of snaps, now you miss all of that money also.
Ooh, leaving money on the table if you get hurt.
So you're injured and you got money left on the table.
That's a double-edged sword right there. Man, Bryant, if you didn't know, my New England Patriots got a win against the horrible Miami Dolphins. I think Miami might just be the worst team in the NFL when it's all said and done this year. I mean, they just look horrible. Horrible. I mean, the Bears got number one. The Bears getting that spot.
The Bears are absolutely terrible. Like, they're worse than Miami. I've never seen anything like that. That is just bad. You're sitting there and Ryan Poles, 3 years in a row. 3 years in a row. 3 or 4 now. This is his 4th year. 4 years, and your offensive line is the size of a mid-major University of New Hampshire's football team.
My God.
You're 300 pounds across the board. Your right tackle is 6'6", 338. Everybody else is 6'4", 300. What are you going to do with 6'4", 300 when you go up against Micah Parsons?
Well,
what are you going to do?
I'm going to tell you right now.
Nothing.
Are you ready? I just want to put out some stats. This is Ben Johnson's first year as new Bears head coach. Right now, entering week 3, I know Bears are 0-2. Keep hope alive. 25th in total yards, 22nd in total passing yards, 27th in rushing, 32 in points scored. That's second. That's dead last in the league. And third, at least you're third in the league on third down. Third, I mean, that's pretty good. That's a good stat. But Bryant, man, I mean, when you hear those numbers, Chicago just looks. They just look trash. Defensively, your defense is just horrible. Secondary. We're not talking about the Bears, but you do have the Cowboys this Sunday. Are you confident that the Bears can beat the Dallas Cowboys Sunday?
No.
At home?
No.
Great. Moving on. Thank you, Bryant. Love you. 49ers 26-21 over the New Orleans Saints. If you're a 49er fan, you should be a little bit more happy with the news of Brock Purdy. few weeks ago, obviously a week ago, I should say, he was out predominantly for 2 to 5 weeks after his evaluation. But as Rasheeda just said, you want to get a second opinion. Recent reports that came out that Brock Purdy may be available game time decision this Sunday against the Arizona Cardinals. That is, of course, a division game for the 49ers. We know what those two teams in that division, what that means when these two teams go at it. Always it could be interesting between Brock Purdy and Kyler Murray. On the other side, Bryant, with the news of Brock Purdy potentially playing, yes, Mac Daddy Jones, because he was a former Patriot, and then the Patriots sent him to Jacksonville. Jacksonville sent him to San Fran. But under Kyle Shanahan last week, he looked very, very, really good. I'm starting to think it's not the quarterback. I'm starting to lean on more it's the system. And Brock Purdy got an overpaid day contract, in my opinion. I don't think he earned the right to have that much money guaranteed when you only brought the 49ers to a Super Bowl once, which was a loss to who? The Kansas City Chiefs. Now having Mac Jones having a really good week 2, going into week 3. If you're Kyle Shanahan, do you lean on Mac Jones bringing that momentum into this week against Arizona, or are you going with your starting quarterback and giving the ball back to Brock Purdy?
Well, you got to give it back to Purdy. I mean, he didn't do anything to lose it. He just was a little banged up here. Purdy fits that system. You know what I mean? So he's got you there one time already. You're just going to have to give him his job back. But yet, it's the second string backup quarterback is, he's kind of auditioning himself for other teams. He's going to have to call Rasheeda to get him on one of those starting teams. I think he should go to the Bears because he damn sure can do better than that bum over there. It's just terrible. It's just god awful. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. But yet Purdy belongs back, in his start position.
Mac Jones, 26 of 39, 279 yards passing, threw 3 touchdowns in the win against New Orleans. San Fran's 2-0. They will return home this Sunday against the Arizona Cardinals. Be in tune for that. Let's go, Kyle Shanahan. Ravens, back-to-back 40-point games in week 1 and week 2. Yes, they lost in horrible, stunning fashion against the Buffalo Bills on week 1. I went to bed. Ravens were winning. I wake up. The Bills won. I don't know how. Then I saw the highlights. I'm like, what happened? Fast forward to week 2. Ravens looked like they still had no problem offensively. I'll say it right now. Number 1 offense in the league. That's a fact. But there's no defense, I think, right now, even against the Green Bay Packers, that can stop Lamar Jackson and this Baltimore Raven offense. I mean, 40-plus points weeks back-to-back. Rasheeda, I'm going to come to you because you know what a hot scoring offense looks like when you see it. I'm sure being up in the suites and in the press box is a different view, but being on the field and what you've seen from Baltimore both weeks 1 and 2, with week 3 coming up with them being 1-1, how dangerous do you see this Baltimore Ravens team this year? And do you think they have a shot at getting to Super Bowl this year after losing to Buffalo last year in the AFC Championship?
I absolutely believe that they will be contenders. There's no doubt. Lamar is something special. I know people had a commentary that he can't close it when he gets so close, but I've seen him live and in action, and he's committed to his craft, and the people around him, he owns that space. Their rhythm is good. He's got a great line, great group of receivers there, a couple a little older. But that experience is necessary and needed at this time for them to be. So I do expect that the Ravens will be good contenders. We'll be talking about them in January for sure.
1,000% Lamar Jackson, 225 yards passing, threw 4 touchdowns to one of them to my guy Zay Flowers, who I love, and I'm really just angry I didn't get him in fantasy. Shame on me. And Mark Andrews, Brian's guy, former tight end, got into the end zone, putting up a 41-piece against the horrible Cleveland Browns as that organization tries to figure some things out. I'm starting to think maybe Joe Flacco isn't the starting quarterback for this team. We need to go in a different direction, if you know what I mean. We'll see if that opportunity presents itself. Baltimore will be, well, if Shedeur Sanders can get the starting job. They're 0-2. All right, let's just stop the whole shenanigan of media writers and what they're saying in Cleveland. Let's get them in there. Let's get that rhythm going with Kevin Stefanski. Let's get this Shedeur train era in Cleveland started, because Joe Flacco, he's not that guy. He's not the guy anymore. That's it. 17 points in a loss against Baltimore. They ain't going to get a job done. Ravens will be home again on Monday night against the team that spanked the Chicago Bears this past week. That's the Detroit Lions, 8:15, ESPN, Joe Buck, Troy Aikman will have the call for you guys. Enjoy. And Browns, of course, will be at home against the Green Bay Packers. Safe to say they'll fall down to 0-3. Sorry, Browns fans. I just love you guys, but I really don't until you put Shador as starting quarterback. Thank you. I want to switch gears a little bit. I want to pivot. The power of the what? Pivot. Rasheeda, you have been in numerous rooms, front office, dealing with GMs, I'm sure talking to owners. But when we look at this, and I know it's old and people have put this to bed, but damn it, I will not let the opportunity slip with having an NFL agent on this platform to talk about this. Jerry versus Micah, the big standoff in Dallas, of course. Jerry with his ego, Micah having all of the big payday that he definitely did deserve. He did get the payday from who? The Green Bay Packers, of course. And Jerry Jones trying to backdoor Micah's agent by trying to get a deal done privately when Micah said, look, Jerry, if you want to negotiate a deal, I want my agent present. The agent gets paid to represent its client. The agent's job is to make sure his client gets the best deal possible that's on the table. So when we talk about this situation, yes, it's already old. And Micah's now a Green Bay Packer, and that defense is alive and well and revived. The Cowboys haven't improved. Yes, they have $40 million in cap room to play with this upcoming offseason. But from your perspective, when you heard the news and saw all the details that transpired between Micah Parsons and Micah Parsons' agent, as well as Jerry Jones, what was your takeaway from it?
Just knowing David Malgetta, first of all, he's an exceptional agent in the game. A relatively what I would call newer to the world, but not so new that he doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, he has a ton of clients that we all know and love, and he has the name brands. So I believe the interesting thing that a lot of people don't realize is that the relationship between an agent and their client is so strong. And what I want to say is I respect Micah in that situation to say, pause, my agent needs to be here, right? Teams have a right to talk to their players. Players talk to front offices all the time. But when you start talking about numbers and the negotiation, the number one duty of an agent is a fiduciary one. And that fiduciary duty says that I need to protect that client by all costs. Handshakes, winks, handwritten documents, none of that works. In the real world of agency, when that NFLPA contract is submitted, that agent's name is on it, and they have to know that they fought and did the best they could for their client in those negotiations. So, Micah, I don't know all the circumstances. I haven't talked to his agent directly about it, but I did hear the news and the media buzz that there was a conversation that he had individually and didn't feel protected in that situation and wanted to invite his agent, and his agent was not invited to the table. That can't happen in negotiations. It's just you just cannot. It's like, and the way I compare it is, it's like being interrogated by the police. And you're 12 years old, right? Not saying that Micah's 12, but I'm just saying, like, I'm being asked to answer questions, commit to things, say things, and I don't have my protection with me. That protection is that buffer in between is the agent. They could care less. Their number one job is that client.
Absolutely. Another thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I said, and it played out for Green Bay perfectly.
Whew, giving up two late first round draft picks, gave Micah $130 million guaranteed just to sack Caleb Love 6 times a year because they play him twice. Bears won't be in the playoffs, so that's not even a conversation that exists. But when we have these type of situations transpire, and I know it's very rare, but it is we are talking about Dallas and Jerry's world, and this has been 3 summers in a row where we've had a media frenzy of Jerry negotiating deals. He was 2 out of 3 on this one with getting Dak Prescott his big contract 2 years ago. And last summer with all the frenzy going on, of course, with CeeDee Lamb, him sitting out, OTAs not showing up to training camp, they get a deal done. Similar this summer here, Micah came out in April. Hey, let's just get a deal done. I want to go into the season focused and ready to commit to the Dallas Cowboys. That sounds good and all, but of course, Jerry doing what Jerry does, it's got to be a conversation about the Cowboys all summer when in reality, it's a distraction. Let's just call it for what it is. It's a distraction to the team, the coaches. You bring in a new head coach his first year. He was a former offensive coordinator under Mike McCarthy in Dallas and Schottenheimer. He's got all these different things going on. The last thing you need is to have an owner versus player contract negotiations going on, and not to get a deal done through the entire summer, OTAs, training camp included. That can cause a lot of chaos. So, of course, with the trade coming out and Micah being a Dallas Cowboy, a Green Bay Packer, it's got to be frustrating for Cowboys fans. But if you didn't like the Cowboys, you can start disliking them even more because it doesn't matter defensively. The pass rushers, conversation for another day. We'll get to that next week on the rewind. But Rasheeda, another thing I want to ask you is how do you navigate the balance of leverage and loyalty in these type of situations when you have an owner and a player pretty much trying to not be on the same page? Because the goal of an owner is like, hey, I want to meet with you, Bryant, as my player. I want to meet with you, Rasheeda, as Bryant's agent. Let's just put something on the table, see if we can get a deal done in terms of years, money, guaranteed money, everything that goes included. How hard is that between the two, leverage and loyalty in those situations?
It's not hard, because one of the things that you have to know as an agent when you go in, you need to understand what are the key priorities for your clients. It depends on what it is, right? They may say, hey, in my contract, I want the suite twice a year, right? For home games, or I want to be able to have a sign-on bonus that's pretty substantial. I want guaranteed money because, hey, I'm getting older and I want to be able to guarantee my future, right? It depends on what their priorities are. You have to know your client's priorities. Once you have your client's priorities and you understand the team's priorities, now we know what each other is sitting with. That allows us to kind of work out, what are you willing to give up? Because negotiation is when each person has to give up something, but they're still good with what they gave up. They're still good with the overall deal. That's negotiation 101. That's just plain out negotiation 101. If I know where your priorities are, but I know what you're willing to bend on, if each person has to give up something and we still meet in the middle, we're in a good space.
True indeed. Bryant, we've had different conversations with different folks on this platform in regards to NIL. It's been crazy. There still hasn't been no structures or any laws in place. And when I mean law, meaning rules and regulations of how this thing is going to be cultivated from top to bottom in black and white. It's kind of been a wild, wild west. Let's call it for what it has been. Rasheeda, I just want to pick your brain a little bit because Bryant and I have had, of course, Randy Foye, former basketball player that Bryant coach, who is in charge of NIL at Villanova University, him talking about the challenges from his position in the university, but you as an agent trying to navigate through this thing with potential clients or even talking to your current clients in regards to NIL deals. What are some of the biggest challenges that you have faced personally with the world of college endorsements as well as the land of the law and that's the NIL?
It is the Wild Wild West out there. And it's sad to see players being taken advantage of. What I will say is that there are situations, I know of a live situation. We had a client or potential client last year that we were going to represent for last year's draft. He was designated kind of in a mid-round, like third, fourth round draft pick. So he would have been drafted. There's no question, but you know how drafts are, people slip. So he could have went up, or he could have went all the way down, but no matter what, he was going to be drafted. And if he didn't get drafted, he was going to be on the team. He was a guy that belongs in the NFL. All discussions happen. When we got ready to actually go through and say, okay, now it's time to represent, you need to sign your contract. You're done with your last collegiate game. We are able to represent you. He says, well, I think I'm going to jump in the transfer portal. There's another NIL agent that is encouraging me to go play 12 more games. That's really what you're talking about, right? 12 more games. You're literally talking, and you're going to all of a sudden change your draft stock. That kid got, well, the word on the street is it was a $1.2 million deal. The NIL agent charges about 30% of that. So they get $360K in their pocket. That's off the gross. Mm-hmm. The tax on it was $600,000. Mm-hmm. Oh, so you start to add that up. In his pocket, he made all of $250,000
for 12 games.
For 12 games. And guess what's happening to him right now? For the last 3 games, he's averaged 10 snaps. So he's nothing but an insurance policy for that big school who should remain unnamed. He's sitting on their bench right now. He's literally sitting on their bench. Now, what is the NIL agent doing in this case? That NIL agent is laughing all the way to the bank, and his draft stock is dead now. He's not worried about him. If his draft stock came up or he started playing, of course, they're going to try to maneuver. And what they try to do is come to us as certified agents and say, hey, I got this guy. If you want to talk to him, you can pay me X amount of dollars to sign him.
Wow.
Where I'm like, you're not certified. You're a street agent. I can get to him regardless. But sometimes the young people, their minds are controlled because it's like, oh, he was my NIL agent. He hooked me up before. He knows what he's doing. No, he's just making money off your back. He doesn't care about you. He's not even certified. He has no protection.
No protection. You bring up an interesting point, and I know this is in basketball, but there was a particular agent who's not NBA certified to be an agent, but yet he had a lottery pick this past year in the draft. He tried to flex his muscles, I should say, within the organization to get one of his former players or former colleagues, whatever the case may be. They had a relationship to take him out of college. He served as an assistant in college this past season at a Division I school. Take him out and to make him the coach of the G League team. I'm sorry, not G League team. The NBA team during the summer league. I won't disclose it. It's hilarious. You said street agents. Is there more in this new world of NIL and the craziness of street agents? Is there more that are trying to do these backdoor deals versus allowing certified agents like yourself to come into the room and to set this kid up for potential long-term success?
Yeah, the only thing that I love about the NFL, if you're not certified, they're not talking to you. The NFL doesn't play that. If you call and you say, hey, I'm so-and-so, and I was wondering if we can negotiate a contract, the first thing they're going to say, are you certified? I don't see your name. I'm not talking to you. That goes for mamas, cousins, and I hear all the time, so-and-so's mom negotiated a deal. No, they didn't. That attorney or advised that player on what to say and advised mom, and they were in the discussion, but the player speaks to the team. You think these teams are talking to moms and dads and street agents? There's no way.
Right.
There's absolutely no way. They're not doing it because they know that they can get in trouble, and they would get in a lot of trouble with negotiating with someone other than a certified agent. So the good side of NIL. So I do want to talk about the good side. Now, when it's run through the college and it's a collective, they usually have a little more scrutiny and parameters around it. Now, the money may not be handed out as fair, but I have had players who got NIL from their colleges and the collectives that support their colleges. I had a player this draft that came, and usually we pay for the training. We get them ready. We do all of that. He said, I saved all my NIL money. I'll pay for my own training. I don't need you to do that for me.
Wow.
And I thought, smart, because a lot of times they have to pay that back. So he's like, why would I go in debt with you when I can just if you
pay it myself?
Yeah, he said, help me negotiate with the training facility, which we can do because we work with the trainers. Negotiate with the training facility. I got my rate, and he paid my rate, the discount rate that I paid with the training. So I thought that was a good side because he went into the draft debt free. He didn't owe us anything, and he's playing. So, that was just an excellent, that's the good side. But some of these guys, they blow through the money. They don't have financial literacy. They think $200,000 is going to save their life. Like that young man, you literally took the minimum contract in the NFL, the minimum. I'm talking bare, undrafted free agent, no bones, just, hey, come play for us. Nothing, $840,000. So you rather take the 2-something rather than pay the $840 for one. That's the first year. The minimum contract is $2.9 million for the 3 years of an undrafted free agent. So that would be your worst case scenario. There's no one in the NFL that has a contract less than $2.9 million. So why would you take that $250,000 when you can be playing in the NFL right now? It didn't make. But he's sitting on the bench for a very good team.
Yeah. Hey, 200 and let's just say 250. I want to sit on the bench. I'm getting 250 to sit on a bench at a Division I school when I could be at my dream, rather 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th pick in the draft, and getting 850 year one, 2.9, 2.5, whatever through 3 years.
Yeah.
What, Bryant? We talk about this in high school recruit with people getting into these players' heads and navigating them through these dark roads that benefits only the street agent versus someone like Rasheeda and her obviously her foundation that she's built from the ground up. Hey, this is what is on the table. Mm-hmm. This is what I recommend you should do. Yeah. But yet, street agent.
The street agent.
I get $350 cash, tax free. And my players getting taxed $600,000. The players only getting $200,000 to sit on a bench.
To sit on a bench with no recourse with that because you signed something with them and they got you all legaled up.
He gone. He gone. That brother.
Yeah, I couldn't. Today's world, you know what I mean, in football and 2.9 million over 3 years. I'm not doing it. And that's just me. Because I know what my body feels like today. And at 2.9 million, it sounds nice, but once you add all the other stuff in there to it, you divide that by 3. You sitting there looking at freaking $400,000 and $500,000 for those 3 years. You can really kiss my ass on that, because that little $500,000 in today's world is like nothing. I'm not
guys that come from. So here's the deal, like Shedeur, right? He's only making maybe a couple $100,000 more than that. I think his contract may be 3. No, it's probably a little more than that. He's 4-year. He's on a 4-year deal because he got drafted. But it may be about somewhere in the 3 to 4 million range. And if you think about that, he's making $1 million a year. He's getting taxed probably $500,000. He's making about $2 million over 4 years.
It's crazy. You know what I mean? And then your body, you go to spend most of that on therapy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The rehabs and all that. Trust me, I've gone through it already. So all the rehab stuff, amount of money I spent on surgeries and it's the afterlife, because football, the average athlete lasts 3 years.
3 years.
At the end of the day, all the money you just made in 3 years, half of that shit is going to the damn doctor because you spend all that time. You know what I mean? You done it 3. You don't have insurance that rolls over. You got to go get a regular gig that give you health insurance. So you spending this money in the doctor sitting up there treatments and rolling out your legs and trainers I've gone through this. I'm sitting here in this thing right now. And my body feels like hell. But at the end of the day, I know what I got to do at 7 o'clock in the morning is go use my damn roller, work out, stretch out my shoulders. I need 2 shoulder surgeries already that I'm trying to fight and prevent. I got the spinal fusions and all this other bullshit. This is bananas. I don't see how these players play this shit. I don't see how the hell
they're young. They're young. Their bodies are different. Their bodies are different.
Crazy. It's so bad. And I know I'm getting off the cusp here. You talk about my sport. It's so bad that they had to fix the goddamn rules that you can't hit them hard no more.
Oh yeah, life has changed.
Oh man,
yeah.
You got to tag them and lay them down into the and say, "Baby, are you okay?"
Give them a bottle.
Here, take this. Come on, get on up for that. Everybody helps each other up for the next day.
I had a running back who told me, "I've been hurting for 5 years, and so therefore I'm not." He's like, I can't go on no more.
Yeah.
He said, my body, he said, I've been hurting for 5 years and I just can't. He had a groin issue. And he just said, I can't do this no more. I gotta. Now, some guys do a really good job though. I had a player a few years back, even with that small contract, he only spent $50,000 in a year. So he's banking that money, and that money is making money and making money and making money.
Compound.
And so he's been really smart with his money, real smart.
Yeah.
He's not touching it. But you need that, right? Because somebody gave me a stat that said, I know we totally off subject, but there's a stat that says 70 to you'll as professional football players make 70 to 80% of their money in those 3 to 4 years that they'll make in a lifetime. They'll never make that amount of money that fast over so many years. And I was like, unless you're Junior Bridgman, Shaq, it's
very few.
That's it.
Yeah.
Quick question, Rasheeda, before we pivot. If there's one thing you would like to see change with NIL, what would it be?
More regulation. I think you need to be a certified NFL agent if you're going to touch football players, or certified through NCAA for the state. Because I have to be certified through the NFLPA, but I also have to be certified for the state in which I talk to players. So I'm certified in Texas, and I can talk to Texas players. But you got street agents, they can come over in Texas, talk to these players, and they don't follow any governance for the NCAA. They don't have to keep $100,000 bond with the state of Texas. So it inhibits us. I think they need to like stringent rules, just like we do, and there needs to be a standardized contract, and there needs to be limits in what they can charge.
Amen. Fun fact, Bryant, you ready for another fun fact? There are a total of 994 agents in the league. I'm sure that's probably changed. Just bear with me. There are a total of 88 and counting, because I want to speak more of it into existence, with women representation in agencies. And agents, I should say, in the league, and Rasheeda is one of the 88 out of 994.
And don't even count the black women, and don't even count independent black women, because a lot of them are tied to agencies.
Ooh. Let me ask you something, Rasheeda. When I just read that stat, and I'm sure it's meant a lot to you from your journey and building your own brand and building your own company to now being able to be representation to any player throughout the league, and also being a black sports agent in the NFL, which is predominantly owned by whites. Sorry to be a little off topic here, but what does that mean to you to be one of the blacks, and what would be your aspiring message to any next black woman that wants to be in the NFL or NCAA or NBA as a professional agent?
I would say that we have something that is unique that I believe that the young men appreciate. Every young man that I represent, I've represented 27 in this world of agency. And of each of those young men, they saw something unique with me. And the feedback that they give our agency and our team is that you guys cross your T's and dot your I's, and you operate in a level of care and fine details, where some of the agencies, man, y'all tough, right? It's like, don't call me with that, right? They can call, they can cry in the middle of the night, and they can tell you their deepest problems. They can talk about their girl, they can talk about their mother, they can talk about addiction in their family, they can talk about deaths in their family. They feel like it's a sense of comfort there, and that you can play both sides. You can be the advocate. I always tell them I can be the advocate. I'm the businesswoman. I can also be the auntie. I can be the mom. I can be the negotiator. I wear many, many hats. So I think that diversification for myself, just black women in period, is very powerful. I also think you have a different view in sitting at the table, especially at a time such as this. One of the things I ask these young men is, you better know where your agent aligns with their morals and what they support and what they don't support. Are you just a ticket to them? And many times it's a transaction. Now, some guys are okay with the transaction. They're like, I don't care if they use me as a pawn, and if I'm paying their bills, and that's all they'll play the game with me just to make me sign, and then they'll kind of write me off. In these situations, I let people know where I stand, where my family has stood for years, and they know when they come to my house, whether it's my mom, my grandmother, or whatever, we all think kind of the same. Where I know if they went to their agent's home, it'd be a little different in that family dynamic. The other thing, when I became, and their political values will be very different, I'm sure. And I think that the other piece of the puzzle is when I became an agent, I realized that a lot of agencies started calling me. And I didn't know why. I was impressed. At first, I was like, oh my God, which agency should I choose? And that told me, it was like a light bulb clicked. It said, wait a minute, you got something they don't have. They want to use that.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you do it yourself? And the only thing that holds people back from being independent is the money. And so we had the money. And as a family, we got together and we invested, put a substantial amount of money in the business. It's a very expensive undertaking, but I do believe that independence allows us to not work within the machine or the box or leave clients behind.
Well, you do know I have a bright future in the sports broadcasting industry. Speaking into existence, and I may need to call you to help me get through these gatekeepers. They try and keep your boy out. I don't know why. I mean, Bryant talked about that a few episodes ago. He went on a rant about these former athletes going broke and holding spots for people like me that's good in this thing, that's got the passion, that's got the energy and the drive to get into certain seats. And it's like, damn it. But you know what?
They send the athletes. NFL offers broadcast school for the athletes.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And they go through the school and they suck. And if you got a name and you bring in viewership, we hire you. Yep. And you look at some of these guys' preparation, and then when they get to game day, it's like, you had all week to get ready for this one game. And you come out on Sunday and perform like this as a broadcaster, as an analyst. It's like,
yep. That is so true. There's a couple people you need to meet. So, hey, look, and definitely Super Bowl. Be on media row during Super Bowl week. You got to be on media row. That's where you need all the opportunity. You got to be in that. You got to be on media row during Super Bowl.
I appreciate you. I need to pick your brain. Bryant, I love you. Thank you. Fun fact, if you didn't know, also Nicole Lynn being the driving force negotiating the highest sports contract by a Black female sports agent. If you didn't know, Jalen Hurts signed a 5-year, $255 million deal with the Philadelphia Eagles. If you also didn't know, Jalen Hurts' team is led by all women. So he's got brains in each department for his brand, for himself, both on the field and off the field. But more importantly, as Rasheeda brought up, Lady Live Sports and Entertainment. You talked about the family business. You talked about getting ready to bring everyone together to invest into something that you had that others didn't. And that's what started and transpired and cultivated Lady Live Sports and Entertainment. But tell us a little bit more besides coming together, knowing you had something, which is important, because I think at Global Sports Entertainment 3, we have something. But Bryant is just being a gatekeeper in some regards. But for you, what was that like, knowing that you knew you had something, and what was those next steps like to put this from a thought and a vision to action and on paper?
I believe one of the things that first of all, the very first year, I took a bath, I would say financially, because I was so intrigued with players that wanted me to sign them and didn't do the proper research and vetting. And some of those players were not ready for NFL, right? Some did work out, right? Some got opportunities, went to NFL, UFL, CFL, but each year I got better and better and better in scouting and connecting and understanding the character of the player. We have kind of a prototype of a player that we look for. And so taking that time to really research that player, study that player, look at the film, talk to all 32 teams, talk to the bowl committees to make sure that that player is set up for success, so that when I hit the ground with them, when they're done with their last game, everything's kind of roadmapped out. So it took a while to get there. I would say maybe that first year, I took a lot of reflection to understand what went right, what went wrong. I would tell anyone building out this operation, I understood that I have to have several different entities to support. We have a legal department. We have a client operations department. We have what I would call marketing endorsement department. We used to call NIL, but we don't do NIL directly anymore. We do marketing endorsement. That's for the current NFL players. And then we also have a PR and branding team that has an extension of about 7 people that work on that side. So that team helps our players all the way around. And then we have a network of trainers, a network of financial advisors, And so we kind of put the outfit together real nice over the last years, where now we have all of the resources to be a one-stop shop for our clients where they're not paying extra fees. And that makes us a little more unique. So Lady Live Sports and Entertainment is alive and well. We prepare players to dominate. And we do something very special each year. And that is we sponsor an HBCU player every year within our agency. And when I say sponsored, I mean we represent them. We pay for everything for them. And we give them the exact same treatment that we would do for any P4 player. And we've been successful at that.
That's good stuff, man. You talk about financial advisor. I can't pass this damn. I keep failing this damn test by a point. I can't get past that. I can't get past that threshold. I don't know why. It's not like I don't know what I'm doing because I manage my own portfolios. But
Right.
I'm sitting here looking at it like I just, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a mental block. Maybe I'm doing too much shit on a daily basis. I don't know. But I keep failing this thing by a point. Now I just said, screw it. Let me just manage my portfolios, and I'm doing well.
Yes.
If you didn't know, Bryant's next career, since he's retired, his next career where he has a drive and the passion, and that's money managing, and that's to be a financial advisor. He's taking a little break. Let me say this publicly. He's taking a little break from his test. I mean, he's took the test 4 times within the last year alone, failed by a point. He's taking a break. He's going back to the drawing board. What did I say earlier? The power of the what? Pivot. And he will be back to take the test, to pass the test, to be certified as a financial advisor, and to go out there and help clients, who knows, and make his future better than what it is right now. We speak to existence. You ain't done. They need help. They need financial literacy help. I need your help. The brand needs your help.
Well, you have me here. That's automatic. I'm helping my family members. I'm helping you. And everybody's, is doing well. The advice that I'm giving them, even though I'm not a licensed financial advisor, but yet I know what I'm doing. So I'm like, do this, do that. And I'm talking them through it as they manage their own portfolios, and they're starting to do extremely well. So I'm like,
yep.
I just got to pass the freaking test.
You need to pass the test. Just go. Get it done.
And they need a lot more. They need financial literacy. They need to understand the power of a will. They need life insurance outside of the NFL. I mean,
I'm certified for that.
There's a lot of pieces to that.
Yeah, life insurance, I'm already certified for that.
Yeah. They need those things. Those tools are very, very important. Now, the NFL requires that anyone that works with it, the NFL has a certification process for their financial advisors as well, which is something else in itself. I've heard it's challenging. So, but yeah, they have financial advisors through the NFL as well. Tough.
Yeah,
you can pass that.
Bryant, we're rooting for you, brother. We got you. We got you. We're gonna uplift you. You just never know. You never know. All right, be ready. So you have to get ready.
Just like they said in options, fire up the T. I'm like, okay.
That's it. Let's pivot. Thursday night football preview: Dolphins versus Bills tomorrow night. Amazon Prime 8:15. Al Michaels and Kirk Kershey will have the call for that. Another game where to get to see on Amazon and see the lovely Taylor Rooks, who does what she does as being one of the best reporters in the game, as well as an analyst. Also, Bills entering 2-0. They will be home. Coach Mike McDaniel's Dolphins 0-2 on the road going into Buffalo. That's a tough place to play. Bryant, give me your quick pick, as well as Rasheeda. Who you guys got winning tomorrow night? Buffalo or Miami?
Really? 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 I'm not going to even answer that question.
If I'm looking at this picture, one is coming into the world and one is going out.
That's Tyreek Hill leaving Miami.
Yeah. Because
two are being escorted out. Two are coming in.
That's it.
You already know. It just the organization is just ever since they got rid of, what was the old head coach's name? Flores. Flores. Ever since they got rid of Flores, that program went up real quick. And just like in stock market, anything that goes here, you have a thing called a falling knife.
Well, we talk about this game, Buffalo versus Miami. This will be my quick locks for Thursday Night Football. If you didn't know, take Buffalo with the solo points over 21. Take Buffalo, alternate the spread just to be a little safe. Take them with the 7 because they're going to beat Miami by a touchdown or more. Anytime touchdown scorer, James Cook, he's getting in the end zone, and take Josh Allen to throw not 1, but 2 touchdowns tomorrow night against the terrible, dysfunctional Miami Dolphins. There you go. Monty's Locks of the Week for Thursday Night Football tomorrow. Stay tuned for that WNBA playoffs update. If you didn't know, Rasheeda, WNBA playoffs is here, alive and well. I'm a huge WNBA fan. But before I get into the preview of the playoffs and what's been going down, I want to give a congratulations to Bryant's favorite guard in the WNBA, and that's who? Paige Beckers, a.k.a. Paige Buckets. Rookie of the Year 2025, averaging 19 points a game, 5 assists, shot 47% from the field, 33% from 3 this past year. Bryant, quick reaction to Paige getting Rookie of the Year, hands down. No one else deserves it but her. Floor yours.
The truth, just like I said at the beginning of the year, the absolute truth. That's all I need to say. She's tough. She's going to even have a better year next year. Watch.
Congratulations to Paige Beckers. The Dallas Wings have a lot of things to fix going into this offseason, being one of the worst teams in the WNBA, but power of the pivot in the front office, I'm sure they got it. They got to put some pieces around Paige if they want to get to that next level. I mean, rookie year average over 19 points a game, shooting 47% from the field. That's elite numbers. That's playing at a high caliber. We know what she can do on both sides of the ball. Multitude guard, can play to 1, can play to 2, can score, can penetrate, can get down the lane, can finish at the basket. What can't she do? That's the team game. Team can't win. But that story for another day. WNBA playoffs, as I talked about, Aces and the Storm, one of my favorite series to watch. New York Liberty and Phoenix are currently playing right now. Indiana with a key win yesterday to force a game 3. If you didn't know, the new format for the WNBA playoffs first round is a little bit more different. It's normally a 2-0. If you win 2 games in a row, that's it. You're done, out of the playoffs. See you next year. But the format has changed a little bit with the first round. That's a 1-1-1, meaning that the game 1 and game 2 would be home, but game 3 will be on the road, just like in the NBA with 2 home, 1 away, 2 home, 2 away, 1 home, 1 away, 1 home split game 7. But WNBA is different. 86-83 was your final for the Seattle Storm, who came back in the second half. They were down 10 at most in that game against the Las Vegas Aces. Skylar Diggins hit a big basket to take the lead. They had a really good display offensively in that fourth quarter. They kept their composure. But fun fact, Bryant, you know the dominance of what A'ja Wilson has displayed this year in the WNBA, particularly in the second half during their 16-game winning streak, only having 11 touches in the last 11 minutes in that game yesterday against Seattle. And out of the 11, she passed the ball 9 times. Of course, we saw her take a big fall in that game. Head coach Becky Hammond came out in the post-game press conference, didn't even acknowledge it, just said flat out, our team just didn't play with enough energy and composure in the second half. The resilience that Seattle Storm showed gave them the will to win, which they definitely deserve in an 86-83 win over the Las Vegas Aces. What I will say is the lack of effort and the lack of execution from the Aces, particularly in that fourth quarter, was something that I wasn't surprised. Turned the ball over, was a little bit sloppy. Particular play in the fourth quarter where Jackie Young is doing a backdoor cut, but her teammate Chelsea Gray too much on the bounce pass. That was sort of the turning point. Everything went downhill after that. But you got to give Seattle Storm credit for taking this one, a really tough home win. They earned this one. But one thing I will say is that the Aces damn sure going into game 3. You won't see A'ja Wilson passing the ball 9 times out of 11 in the fourth quarter. She's going to be a little bit more aggressive, only scoring 5 points in the second half. 5 points. And this is safe to say the MVP of this year to WNBA. 1 of 4 from the field, from 3. 3 of 7 from the free throw. Wasn't putting the ball on, being aggressive. But, Bryant, we got this bracket up right here. We said who you have going to WNBA playoffs. Rasheeda, is there any excitement from your world and you're in regards to WNBA playoffs, or are you just watching from afar?
I'm watching from afar. Right now, the NFL is priority in my world. I feel bad about it, but it is. It is.
It's okay. It's okay. You guys can catch Aces and Storm Game 3 on Thursday, 9:30 Eastern Time. Aces will be back home in Vegas, and we shall see what goes down from there. College football recap Week 3, Bryant. Week 3, you said one game in particular was going to be a trap game. That's LSU versus Florida. LSU at home. LSU got the damn job done 20-10. Billy Napier, since they lost to South Florida 2 weeks ago, they have just been on a down course going where? Downhill. They got Miami on the road this upcoming Saturday. Give me a quick reaction to LSU win. Number 3 team in the country, rightfully so, with the 20-10 win at home.
Well, I thought that game was going to be a trap game, but it was a hard-fought game, and LSU was right there with them. But they kind of prevailed here towards the end, and it was something to see. I caught some clips of it. I basically stepped in to watch the game a little bit on my phone while I was driving. I don't want to put that out there, but still, I was still watching the games, and that was an exciting game. But Florida is in some trouble. That schedule does not get any easier, and I kind of feel for those guys, but I kind of don't, because they're arrogant as hell. But it is what it is. I'm glad they're losing. I hate Florida. I hate anything Florida. It's just what it is. LSU keep kicking ass. That's all I can say. But it was a great game.
Yeah, great game for sure. I want to apologize to America. I put a lot of stock and a lot of hype into DJ Lagway, quarterback for the Florida Gators. I said from losing to South Florida, he's going to come into this game against LSU with a little bit of chip on his shoulder. Damn it, he came in with absolute chip on his shoulder, throwing 5 interceptions against LSU. That was a terrible offensive display and performance from DJ Lagway. Damn it, 5 interceptions in the game. I just don't know, Billy Napier. Your job is one thing for sure and 2 things for certain. My grandma used to say, I'm going to tell you right now, Billy Napier is getting fired into this year. He will not be the head coach of the Florida Gators next year. You can take that check that Rasheeda signs, Bryant signs, or hell, even I sign. It's going cash. It's going clear. The money's going to be in the bank, and Billy Napier damn sure won't be the coach of Florida Gators. So, John Gruden, Bryant, Garvin, somebody get ready to take over the Gators because, shit, losing to South Florida should be an embarrassment, and losing to LSU in a rivalry game, that should be an embarrassment. Throwing 5 interceptions, DJ Lagway, should be an embarrassment, and you're on the road against Miami this Saturday. Another L. Billy Napier, may God be with you, brother. We shall see. Georgia, Tennessee, SEC matchup. One game that I talked about last week that I absolutely was looking forward to see. And damn it, we got the display that we needed. Georgia 44-41. This game went to overtime, Bryant. Kirby Smart don't fold in overtime. Ask Nick Saban. Give me a quick recap from Georgia's 44-41 win over Tennessee at Tennessee.
Tennessee should have won a game. And they choked. They choked right there when they had them. They had them close it in, and they just had them. They had them. And, you give them a chance in overtime, and Kirby's not gonna lose that game in overtime. He's a great 5th quarter type coach to win games. Yep. But Tennessee had it. They should have won the game, and I think if they play again, I think Tennessee will get them, and it won't even be close this next time around. That's my personal opinion about it. You're Georgia. You're that dominant. You don't give up 41 points. I'm just telling you, just like it is. It's the SEC. You don't give up 41 points in the SEC if you're that dominant. He should have won this game 44-21. That's how you say it, pure dominance. But they're not as dominant as they usually be, giving up 41 points to Tennessee. They usually destroy Tennessee.
Yeah,
but now
Tennessee has improved.
Yeah, they have improved, and this is a little different. I think Tennessee get them the second time around.
We shall see. The only time these 2 teams will meet again is if they were to meet in the SEC championship. But the SEC is up for grabs, folks. Stay tuned for that. Shout out to Gunnar Stockton from Georgia, quarterback, 304 yards, 2 touchdowns throwing, 1 touchdown with his legs. Showed up when it mattered most in that 5th quarter overtime. Georgia takes a victory. Kirby Smart 3-0. Moving on. Vanderbilt 31-7 over South Carolina. Bryant, I was surprised by this. And because I just had a feeling of South Carolina coming into this game to give Vanderbilt the business, but damn it, was I wrong. They got beat down 31-7. Texas A&M 41-40 I said Notre Dame was going to win at home. I just said that they need to bounce back after losing week 1, and they start the season 0-2 since the first time since who? LSU head coach Brian Kelly was in charge. Give me a quick recap. Another high-scoring game. Texas A&M SEC team with the win on the road.
Same thing with Tennessee. Same thing with Notre Dame. They had it. They should have won the game. They choked at the end. They missed a freaking field goal, fumbled a snap. In critical times like that, you can't fumble snaps. You got to be picture perfect. These guys got problems on the defensive end. They can't stop anybody in the Notre Dame. There's a talented ass team. They should be 2-0, but defensively, there's a lot of things going on, and they need to go back and they need to fix that and fix that fast, or else they go find themselves in not only not in the playoffs, but definitely out of a bowl contention, because they may wind up being 6-6. That schedule's not easy at all.
Nope. True indeed. 42-3 Oklahoma over Temple. As a Temple alum, any comments?
Temple is, people were sitting there talking about Temple was good and all that stuff. Look, I've been coaching for 30 years, right? And I coach multiple sports. And I understand personnel. That's one thing that I'm very good at, is watching film and understand personnel. And when we watched Oklahoma last week, and I watched that front seven, it took me 1.5 seconds to figure out one play that defensive front seven will give you hell for Oklahoma. That is probably the fastest front seven I've seen in college football in some time. They are savages. They are true savages on the defensive end. Temple had no shot from the door. They didn't have a shot in the locker room. And I told everybody that. It was just an outmatched game. They took the gas off in the third quarter. It was 5 minutes and 23 seconds in the third quarter, and the score was 42-3. I know they put in their second and third team. They had to. I know they did. They didn't want to embarrass. Oklahoma could have put up 100 if they wanted to.
We'll see what Temple can do next week, as well as Oklahoma, as they look to improve to be 4-0. Michigan 63-3. Won't get into that. Good win as we prepare for games to look out for this upcoming Saturday. And that's who? The Michigan Wolverines. Hail to the victors. Yes, Rasheeda, if you didn't know, Brian and I are Wolverine fans. Go Blue. And Chris, our producer, is a sadly mistaken, confused Ohio State Buckeye fan who's 0-4 against the Wolverines. It'll be 0-5 this year in November, but we're not there yet. We're worried about Nebraska. If you didn't know, last 4 matches between Michigan and Nebraska in 2023, Michigan blew them out 45-7, 34-3 and 22, 32-29 and 21, and 56-10 and 18. Now, 2 years later, things are a little bit different for both programs. Nebraska's not a team to sleep on in the Big Ten. They will compete, and I expect them to compete. But however, they are coming to the big house. Nope, I'm lying. We're on the road at Nebraska. Sorry. Another tough environment to play in. But with us having that experience, Bryant, so far under our belt, playing at Oklahoma, we won't have Coach Moore this game because he's suspended from the stuff he's paying for from Harbaugh being our head coach. What do you look forward to seeing from Michigan this Saturday against Nebraska? And do you feel the Wolverines with Bryce Underwood can lead the way and lead us to a road victory against Nebraska?
I think Michigan lose this game. They don't have the head coach. And Nebraska's coach was Temple's coach when they had them rocking and rolling. So I give the edge to just the head coaches, one being there and one not. And the experience factor. We got a freshman quarterback over there in Michigan. He's pretty good, but he's not ready for that atmosphere. And down in Nebraska, that's a whole different animal down there. I know Michigan is a major animal, but when you get to them Cornhuskers, ain't nothing around you but that stadium and cornfields. That's a whole different ball game down in that bad boy. And they're going to have struggle when they first get there. You better hope that it's raining or something, but it's going to be a long day.
Struggle, we shall see. As I said last week, riding with Bryce Underwood till the wheels fall off. Give me the Michigan Wolverines on Saturday against Nebraska. Can't come on a platform and say Michigan's going to lose. What's the matter?
I'm a realist.
All good. Auburn and Oklahoma this Saturday. Look out for that. 2 undefeated teams meeting up in the SEC for the first time this year. And Florida against Miami. Miami being number 4 team ranked in the country. But Rasheeda, normally we have something prepared for our guests, particularly when it comes to Coach Gar's hot take. This week, he doesn't have a hot take, but he's got a special announcement to make, though. Are you ready to hear it? It's this week's edition of Coach Gar's hot take. Here it is.
I don't know what the hell Monty just came over here and gave me a freaking hot take. It just doesn't make any kind of sense for him to give me a hot take today. But I'm going to take it, Rasheeda. I'm happy with the fact that you are here. This is a blissful day to have Rasheeda, my homegirl, my homeboy over there, coaching and doing his thing. But I want to talk about Florida and that Florida-Miami game in this hot take. I'm happy this game is going on today, right? I'm happy that it's going on this weekend. You know why? Because it's bringing back that Florida-Miami vibe like we used to have back in the 90s. I'm happy to see these two teams play, even though I think Florida sucks and Miami's going to kick their ass. Fantastic game to have. Let's bring this battle back. I want to see some blood, sweat, and tears, but football is just not the same like it used to be because, again, it's soft. It's like cotton. And I don't want to go too long because we've just been hammering at this thing for over an hour. But I cannot wait to see Miami just destroy Florida big time. My boy is over there. He's one of my coaches, Nick Polk. He's a player personnel, and he runs the show over there at Florida. And Rasheeda may want to get over there and get to know Nick Polk because, they got some hell of athletes over there. You'd let them know that you know me, and I'm like, y'all can do your thing over there. But at the end of the day, go Canes, even though I hate the Canes too.
Now, FYI, America, I didn't have a rewind of the week for 2 weeks, but I told y'all asses that I was going to bring it back this week, and I'm pissed off. So rewind of the week, let's go, baby. Now, public service announcement to all. Okay, I'm back after my 2 week absence from Rewind of the Week. I promise you I won't take this segment easy this week. I promise you. Buckle up and get ready. Colorado, a team that Bryant said is only going to win 6 games this year. 6 games. 6 games. They are 1-2 currently right now. Beating Delaware 31-7 last week. Okay. Much tougher team in Houston. Yes, they known for their basketball. They just was in the Final Four last year against Florida and lost. Kevin Sampson, over 70 years old. He'll be back. Florida, we ain't talking about Houston basketball. We're talking about Houston football. Colorado, Coach Sanders, I got some questions and I need some answers. Better yet, the country needs some answers. 36-20. Ryan Staub, sophomore quarterback out of Stevenson Ranch, California, 6'1", 200 pounds. All the hype was coming into him with him being named the starter coming into this game after his amazing display against Delaware. 7-10, 150 yards passing, completed 70% of his passes, threw 2 touchdowns. He was only sacked once. He had a 98.7 QBR. That's all great. All great. All great. But damn it, I can throw 198 yards. I can throw 2 touchdowns against Delaware. Here's where things get tricky, and this is what pisses me off. Fast forward to the Houston game. 19-35. 204 yards passing, only completing 54% of his passes, threw 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and a 36-20 loss. Had a 27 QBR. That's embarrassing, right? Now, who's the offensive coordinator for Colorado? Pat Schumer. Who's Pat Schumer? A crumb bum who used to be the coach of the New York Giants and got his ass ran out of New York faster than Bryant can get out of bed. Now, next point. They playing Wyoming next at home on Saturday. If there's one thing for certain and 2 things for sure, 5-star quarterback Julian Lewis needs to be the starter. Coming out of high school, finished with over 10,000 career yards in passing in high school. That's great. Now, I know the hype surrounding Ryan. I mean, he went out against Delaware, kicked ass and took names, put up a splendid display. I mean, Temple can beat Delaware 41-7. That's just what it is. But when you have a quarterback that you go out and recruit, and I know Ryan's a third-year guy, he's earned the right. He's been in the quarterback room with Shedeur the last 2 years, played phenomenally, got the win for Colorado, 1-1, going into a desperation game where you can be 2-1 or 1-2. Doesn't matter. But Julian's got to be the starter. You invested a lot of recruiting into this player. You went into his home and got the deal done. He's well taken care of in the NIL aspect. That's one thing Deion does do, takes care of his players. That I do love. But damn it, he can avoid the rush. He's really good in the pocket. He can get outside and throw the ball on a run. And all he needs is opportunity. Let's ride. Let's go. Ryan's not the guy. Bench that guy. He sucks. I mean, I can go play quarterback. I'm better than him. And he's a 3-year guy. Colorado, you're on the verge of going 1-3. Deion, make the damn quarterback change, please. Because I don't want to see you lose 8-9 games. I want to see you win 8-9 games. And I want to see you be in a bowl game. If not the college football playoff. I got high hopes and aspirations for Colorado this year. But right now, that ship is starting to sail. And Bryant warned me before the season even started when we were talking about media day back in early July. Deion, make the change. Floss and Moss, let's go.
Rasheeda, what did I tell you? I was good at personnel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Floss and Moss, we got to go. As a New York Met fan, I am not happy. A diehard Met. I was on this airwaves many episodes ago, raving about the Mets, them being first in pitching, first in ERA. Team was winning games, smacking 12-game, 13-game winning streaks. At one point, we were number one in the NL East. Fast forward to September 17th, we are second. We didn't win a division. That's Philly. They're number one. And we're fighting to make the damn wild card. If the season were to end today, we would have a wild card matchup against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, in my experience and following this game for many years and being a fan, the Mets and Dodgers have had their fair share. From 2015, Mets having that World Series championship team, beating LA. That was great. Beating the Chicago Cubs that year too. That was great. But there's no chance in God's green earth we can go into LA and beat the red-hot Shea Ohtani, Mookie Betts, LA Dodgers led by Dave Roberts. The Mets have been atrocious. Right now we're 78-73. We just snapped the 2-game losing streak tonight, losing to the San Diego Padres 7-4 at home. Prior to that, we were on an 8-game losing streak. And at one point, all we needed to do was just take care of Philly in that four-game matchup in Philadelphia. Even if you split it 2-2, I like our chances. And I made a bet with Eric, High End Cigars manager, that the Mets would win a division. I owe this man a cigar now. I'm not happy. I am not happy at all. We got swept by the Phillies. We lose to Cincinnati during an 8-game losing streak. The chance for NL East is now over. The only thing that we have to dream of is a wild card spot. But shit, I don't want to play the Dodgers in a wild card game. I'm scared of them. Shit, one of the hottest teams in baseball, offensively and pitching. But yet, Juan Soto has over 40 home runs, over $700 million for his contract, and he leads the team in on-base percentage. And as a Met fan right now at 78-73, I'm depressed, I'm sad, and that is Floss and Moss. Good night, America.
I'm tired of you mentioning that bullshit about the Mets every single year. Mets. And I tell you, every time after the All-Star break, they're going to be ass later on, and it never fails.
Well, the good news is, Met fans, we're 1 game up in the wild card spot. Arizona Diamondbacks are on our tail, behind 1 game. I know we got a home series coming up against Miami. We need to take care of business. But Mets, listen up. Playoffs is the only damn thing that is realistic this year. You spend all that damn money in the offseason, bringing in a bunch of talent, bringing in Juan Soto. Yes, he's progressed second half of the year. Pete Alonso leads the team in freaking batting average with over 246. I mean, the pitching's got to improve. The hitting's got to improve. I mean, during that win streak, we were hitting 12 runs, 13 runs, 9 runs. I mean, I went to a Met game. Fun fact, I went to a Met game against the Miami Marlins. I was supposed to get there on time, the pregame, in the parking lot, tailgate with the Mets fans. By the time I got in the arena, in the stadium, the Mets had already had 12 runs. 12 runs. It was the 4th inning. I need that swagger back. I need that energy back. I need us to come out here. Let's just take care of business, finish the season strong, go into the playoffs with the momentum, and take care of business in the wild card. Because if not, it's be another year where I'm sad and depressed, and the Mets don't make the playoffs, and I got to hear Bryant's mouth, and I got to hear Philly fans' mouth, and I don't want to lose to the Dodgers. I want to make the playoffs. Rewind of the week. Thank you. I love you. And let's close this thing out. Rasheeda, want to say thank you first and foremost personally for blessing us with your presence on tonight's episode. I am blessed to have had you on. Your team was very, 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 very easy to work with during this navigating process to get you on the episode. They were very understanding. They were responsive in our dialogue, communication. Those things matter. I've been gatekeeped. I've been told one thing and it's been another. I've had people say they're coming on and then last minute they don't come on. I take those things personally. So first and foremost, thank you. I appreciate you. Any closing remarks on episode 32 for all the people that support this thing on all our social media platforms? Where can people find you? I know you locked into the NFL season this year with NFL Sunday, week 3 coming around the corner. But tell the folks that support the Rewind, where can they follow you? Where can they find you? And how can we support Lady Lib and that beautiful entertainment business that you have? Give it to us because I need some merch. I want to wear some merch on the pod.
Here's a Lady Lib shirt. Yeah, we got to make that happen. We definitely got to make that happen. But Lady Lib Sports and Entertainment, you can find us. Of course, we have a website, ladylib.com. LIB, that's B as in boy. And Lady Lib 1922, you can find us on X and IG. The best way to help our organization is to always recommend us to star athletes that want to transition from collegiate to pro. That is one of the best ways to make sure that we meet them early. We can connect with them early. We can study them. We can watch them and scout them appropriately to see if it's a win-win when they finish their collegiate season. But that is probably the number one way. And also to just support our rookies around. We have a rookie right now with the Commanders. And so we look at, as we post them, share them, celebrate them. We represent players in the UFL, CFL, and the NFL. So our players across all of those leagues, always to be supportive of them along their journey as well. But referrals are welcome.
You need a basketball unit.
Yes, whenever I get basketball, I always refer them. I have 2 people that I refer them to. First of all, a very renowned basketball coach that's in Atlanta. I always refer them because he gets them there to the draft. The second piece is I refer them to a basketball agent that works under another football agency. But yes, we need some NBA. You want to be an NBA agent? Let's go.
Uh-oh.
Hey.
That may be it.
I got a question.
What's those qualifications to be an NBA agent?
They probably have to sit for a test as well.
Oh man.
Yeah, everything involves a test and a lot of money.
I got a question, Ms. Rasheeda. Do you currently have any or have had any like sports broadcasters a part of your agency at all?
We have not. We work with a lot of them. We work with a lot of the guys in production over in Sirius Radio, XM, because they interview our clients. So we have those relationships, and then definitely with the NFL Network. Like I'm definitely with the NFL Network and all of their team, their talent producers.
Good to know.
But none that we represent per se, but they will call and say, hey, we want your client on, blah, blah, blah. And we work with those talent producers and schedulers to get them on television.
Good to know. You never know. Just never know. You never know. Bryant.
And I have one more thing to ask. Before you, I have to ask this question.
What?
Oh, Lord.
Look, I've sat in.
Nothing with the Bears.
No, it's nothing with the Bears. I've sat in her. I've stayed at her home. So check this out, right? So I don't forgot the freaking question. No, here it is. Before you became an agent, who did you represent before? Did you do any music stars or anybody that you were connecting with as far as taking care of that person? Share that with us.
So I've always been a connector, whether I was through college or whatever the case may be. Probably the most I have been very I have connected Bev Biv DeVoe and connected, just made a lot of things happen with them. MC Light has also been someone. Dougie Fresh, it's his birthday today. He's 59.
Happy birthday, Doug.
Yeah. Excuse me, Dougie. Dougie Fresh. I have booked so much talent, whether it be Kurt Franklin, Anthony Hamilton, Marsha Ambrosius, Fantasia, you name it. I've worked to connect the dots with entertainers and entities for many, many years.
So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get an entertainer on our show. So because this is it's global sports and entertainment. So we haven't come across that entertainment piece, and we would love to have an entertainer come on and bridge the gap with some other entertainers that I know on my side and connect those guys and see if they can parlay. So if you know any entertainers that would like to come on our show,
I about that. Somebody asked me for Michael Irvin the other day. And he's on his circuit right now. As you can tell, his PR team has got him moving. So really promoting the gambler. But I have to think about it. Let me think about that, because there may be an opportunity to bring some people on.
Yeah, if you know any teams or any schools looking for a sports broadcaster, someone call games or radio hosts or whatever, I got my resume hot and ready to go. Bryant. That's it. Bryant, closing remarks, episode 32 as we close out.
Look, I'm happy to be here. It's good to see you, Rasheeda. Yeah. I'll be in Texas sometime in about 4 weeks. You probably won't be there. You may or may not be there. I'll be around my cousin, be there, and I'll be there with my cousin. I know Monty can't go because I'm gonna be in Chicago first, and I'll be in Texas during the week, so he'll be at work. And I know he will miss Texas like no other. Look at his face, because he went with me last time. But this is a fantastic show, and you got to come back and do this again. After the season, just give us an update of what happened, and then hopefully we can get some an entertainer come on there with us, as well as a podcast sportscaster to come on here with this young man to get him going, because he deserves to be on ESPN just like anybody else.
Yeah,
and that's my hot take.
Okay,
appreciate it. Solo shot, Chris. Appreciate you, brother. If you haven't, episode 32, like, subscribe, follow us on YouTube at @3rewind_GSC3, as well as follow us on all our social media platforms at @3rewind_GSC3. Audio, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify. You guys can catch us there. Want to give a special thank you to my dog, Chris, in 1990 Studios for what they do for us on a week in and week out basis, producing, editing, breaking down, doing the damn thing as he always do each and every week. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Special shout out to our guy, Pat, our graphic designer, who holds it down each and every week with the episodes that we have shared every week. This episode will be out tomorrow, 3:00 Eastern time on all platforms. Want to say a big, full of gratitude and grace, big hug to Mrs. Rasheeda Liberty. Shout out to her husband, Coach Liberty, Bryant's guy, former teammate, for also connecting with Bryant, but also Mrs. Rasheeda for allowing her team to come through Global Sports Entertainment 3 to rewind, to bless us with her presence, to make this episode more entertaining than it has been. We've talked about Chicago Bears more tonight than Bryant's talked about in 2 weeks. That is a problem. However, we're wishing the best for Rasheeda and her clients this season, rather than NFL or college, as well as wishing Lady Live Sports Entertainment tremendous success from now and to the end of time. It's been a great, great, great honor and privilege to have her on, and I can't wait to have her on again. I met her virtually tonight, but I look forward to meeting her in person. Sadly, it will not be when Bryant goes to Texas because, of course, Bryant will be there during the week. I'll be working to help the Rewind stay afloat. And who knows, me and Rasheeda may meet down the road on a much bigger scale, speaking things into existence, as God says. But thank you. We love you. You guys can catch us next week again with episode 33. And I want to give a quick special announcement that next week's episode 33 will be live on YouTube with former NFL wide receiver Tori Gurley and one of my my Dearland fans, NCAA champion women's basketball. Can't say her name yet because that'd be too much, but it'll be a great episode next week. Like, subscribe. We love you. Episode 32. Sign off. Brian Garvin, Rasheeda Liberty, Monty Moss, 1990 Studios, and Chris signing off. See you guys next week. Enjoy NFL Sunday. Go Blue against Nebraska.
Let's go!
I was checking out the scouting report, and I don't see nothing but bums. You and your whole entire world know that I am the one. You and your squad ain't got nothing for me.
Hey.
Your organization is looking stressed,
What?
and now that you haters is running from me, I know that you see that I'm highly blessed.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, we live with your boy Coach G. Yeah, we live with your boy Monty.
You and your squad ain't got nothing for me. Your organization is looking stressed, and now that you haters is running from me,